Alright, what's going on everybody on YouTube? Griffin here, coming back to you guys with another Sunday Stock Wash live stream. First and foremost, if you're new to the channel, definitely consider subscribing below. We'd love to have you here, and definitely consider joining our totally free, everything is totally free with me, you'll learn right off the bat, Discord group chat. It should be one of the first links in the description box. And if you're wondering just what we're all about here, we're all about any way to achieve financial freedom, be it swing trading, day trading, all that good stuff within the stock market. I started out by selling books and reselling stuff on Amazon and eBay. Did that for a little bit, made a good little bit of money. Have videos all about that. We have over like 230, 240, something like that videos now. So I have a bunch of playlists if you want to check them out. But with that being said, I'll go ahead and just get right to the video. Make sure really quickly that our stream is doing alright before I get going. Already been up for a quick minute, it looks like. But as most of you know that have been watching me for a little while now, I just got back in the full swing of things here, starting about around 9/11 in October, 9/11 in September. We're about to start a new month already, going into October tomorrow, if I remember right. Hopefully I got my days right. Yeah, it's only a 30-day month, but pretty good month overall. Pretty good couple weeks since starting. Last week we did at one point apparently 72% that I missed, but overall last week we did almost 68% on the money doing SPY options. As you can see, I have a few SPY calls. I'm currently down on those slightly. 10-10, you'll always hear me mention that I like doing options that are a week and a half to 2 weeks out. They're a little more on the pricey side. You see that's about $160 right now, but you get what you pay for at the end of the day. I played around with a few like QQQ calls, SPY calls even, that were around the $20 to $40 range, and I had horrible results with those. They're too far out of the money, which obviously your Theta and your Vega, all of those can really mess with you, and you can really just essentially throw that money. You're pretty much buying scratchers when you're buying anything that's under $50 in my opinion. That's why I suggest doing any kind of option that's around $50 or more. Obviously it depends based on the actual like stock itself or ETF, whatever you're trading. But SPY, I generally with SPY in all honesty stay anything from like 75 and above, just because again, the further out you go, you're going to be spending more. I mean, we can even hop in real quick and I'll show you guys just a few examples of what I'm talking about. But as you can see, I'm down about 4% right now. Nothing to worry about. Got plenty of time. I'm super stoked to see what the market's going to do. Also in my Discord group, I posted a today to an article that talks about the volatility of October. Volatility does not always mean a bad thing, keep in mind. October can tend to be a month that the markets go up a lot. All the volatility means is how quick and far up or down does the market move at the end of the day. And generally speaking, October tends to be a pretty decent month, to the contrary where people want you to believe, especially if you hop on BS like Stock Twist, they want you to believe that October is a horrible month for stocks because of what? Obviously 2008, I believe 2000 or 2002, whichever little bubble crash back then happened. I believe that was in October as well. Correct me if I'm wrong. And then also, what was it, 78? I forget what year the market had another crash back in the 70s or 80s. That also started in October. So that's what people tend to go back to. But all it means is that October is a highly volatile month. That means you can make a lot of money, or it means you can lose a lot of money if you're not on the right side. So just keep that in mind. But I have an article about that in the Discord group chat. I know a couple of you guys checked that out. But so all you're going to do obviously is go to view all options. It looks a lot different on the computer version versus, I actually like the computer version a lot more than the app. It's just my personal preference at the end of the day. But as you can see like the $60 one, it's tempting, but to me, it's not worth the buy. I like staying pretty close to at the money or in the money. And if you're just new to options trading, just real quick, let me go ahead and get us pulled up right here. By the way, if you have any questions or anything whatsoever, ticker symbols you want me to just take a look at, just let me know here in the chat, and I'll get to it as soon as possible. But if you're brand new to options, this line is just pretty much your in the money versus out of the money options. So what does in the money, out of the money mean? You can see that SPY is currently at 290.72, though it's really around 291, just depends on where it opens tomorrow, but 290.72. So anything that is under like 290.50 right now, because 291 is out of the money technically, is pretty much anything that's below this would be in the money, because there's not like no 290.75. It goes 290.50 and then 291. So anything that would be under the 290.75 is in the money. So your 290.50 is in the money, 290, all that good stuff, and they tend to be more expensive. Why? Because they're not as volatile. You can see minus 11% versus as soon as you go outside the money, and this is 100% correct. That's another glitch with Robinhood. Sometimes their percent changes in price aren't exactly right for whatever reason. But as you can see, as soon as you stepped outside the money, minus 26%. These are expiring October 3rd. We don't want to look at that. We want to look at least October 10, since that's about a week and a half out. Like I said, week and a half, 2 weeks out is what you're looking at. See how in the money it only dropped about 7% roughly, but they're still around $100 to $300 in the money. That's what you want, because you're buying more security. They're not going to be as volatile. You're still going to have a good chance on a good rate of return, and you're not having to move as much. See how the break even, that's what you really want to pay attention to as well. See how SPY would essentially have to move about 0.75%. This is by the actual date. So by October 10th, SPY needs to move in your favor 0.62% for you to at least break even and at least pretty much not lose all your money, so to speak. But obviously that's not what we're looking for. So what I tend to do, I tend to hang out right here, right in this area. I tend to hang out just right in here. Sometimes up here, it just depends. But for the most part, I like to hang out right in this area. I don't tend to go too far in the money. If I go in the money, it's usually just the first one. But I tend to hang just right outside the money, where I still got a very good chance on making a really good return. But also my risk is not super risky by any means. 0.55%, that's absolutely nothing for the markets to move, especially by October 10th. I mean, literally, if you want to look at how much 0.55 would be from the close, we're around right here. 0.55 would be, might have to go up just a little bit more. Let me see. Let's go to the 10-day. I just have to get enough space to be able to show you guys. So 290, let's just do that. So 0.55 would essentially be, it would have to go up roughly, to 292.30. So less than $2 is what it'd have to move. That's a strong resistance, however, right at 292. So you definitely want to be careful, of course. But however, we're not planning on holding these through the whole contract, of course. We're planning on flipping these within sometimes the day, but for the most part, we like to hold these for 1 to 2 days, let the market play out, buy low, sell high, of course, and that's how we get the monstrous returns. But yeah, so hopefully you guys get what in the money, out of the money means. But like I said, I just like to stick, my biggest rule is 1.5 to 2 weeks out minimum. If you have the money cash available, 3-4 weeks out is even better. It's not a must for me personally. One, because I obviously don't have the capital to yet. Two, because I only hold these generally. The longest I've held an option so far was about 3 days, I believe. It was a SPY call I held for about 3 days. About 2 weeks ago, while I was in Houston for my training at work, I held it for about 2 or 3 days. And I flipped it for, I don't remember, like 12 or 13% profit. Nothing big, but 12, 13% profit is big, but sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. Hold it for a few days. That's essentially 4% profit a day. It's not bad. So yeah, that's pretty much a quick little breakdown of just what I look at when it comes to buying SPY calls. You notice I didn't go over SPY puts. That's because I generally do not like to short the market. SPY is essentially the market, for those of you that don't know either. It's just the spider ETF of the S&P 500, as you can see. So pretty much as SPX moves, SPY moves. SPX is essentially, it's pretty damn close to just 10 times of what SPY is. It's never 100%, but it's pretty damn close. So just something to keep in mind if you're looking to get into SPY or SPX or futures or anything like that. I'm not in futures right now. I might at some point later on down the road. Don't know. Can't predict the future at the end of the day. But for now, why fix what's broken? I'm going to stick with SPY calls. Buy on the dips, sell the rips. As you guys know, I scooped up my calls on these dips down here. I bought a couple, I believe, when the market was somewhere in here. It went down a little bit, came back up, and then I bought again right before the bell closed. So I got some, if we can take a look. Let's see here, let's go home. You can see Friday I technically closed down slightly. not a big deal. It's mostly because, again, I was losing a little. You can see I'm losing slightly on the SPY calls right now. I wonder if it shows my average buy cost. So cost was 331, market value is 318, which is why, but I don't think it shows the exact cost I paid for. Okay, so 105 and then 113. So I slightly overpaid on the first two I bought, and then I bought the others for 105. So technically that one's up $1, but these two are down, what, $7 each, something like that. Yeah, that'd be 13. So not a big deal at the end of the day, as long as the market has a pretty decent green day or two, hopefully at some point this week. We had a down week this last week. That's why I'm not too worried about this upcoming week, because it's pretty rare for us to have multiple weeks in a row of red. As you can see, let's just go to the 20-day. I want the daily chart actually. So you can see overall down week, but prior to that we had like 1 or 2 green weeks back to back. I think actually we had three out of the 4 weeks in September were green, if I recall. So it's pretty interesting to just kind of follow the markets week by week versus day by day. That's another thing that's allowed me to kind of become a better trader, in my opinion, is now that I'm not looking day by day, I'm looking week by week at the markets. I mean, obviously I'm still quote unquote, technically I'm not quote unquote day trading, I'm swing trading technically, because I haven't had a day trade in about 2 weeks now. I've only been trading full on, all in again for the last probably month, and I would say the last 2 weeks I haven't even had a day trade. So technically I'm swing trading, but I feel a lot more poised, I feel a lot more confident in my trades when I look at the market from a week by week standpoint versus an hour by hour, day by day. Obviously I'm still paying attention to the markets every single day, but I don't get frantic if we have a red day, or if we go from green to red. If we go from red to green, awesome, but I don't freak out if we go from red to green. You can see we essentially ended unch on Friday. I think that's very good since it's end of the month, end of the quarter. Usually that's a pretty bloody bloodbath red day, but the fact that we pretty much ended unched on the day is pretty good in my opinion personally. Sorry, I need a drink real quick. Again, guys, let me make sure our stream's doing alright. So I got one of you in here. But again, if you have any questions or anything whatsoever, or any ticker symbols that you want me to analyze, just throw them out there in the comments or in the chat. But yeah, overall, I can't tell you guys enough how much SPY is just, at least in my opinion, the easiest, the best ETF to trade for options. Doesn't mean it's the best ETF or stock or anything like that to trade in general, like buying and holding, swing trading. But if you're looking to hop in the options, SPY, it's not that hard. Just follow the markets. You're not having to follow individual stocks. Just follow the markets. Pay attention to Fed meeting dates, any kind of significant meeting, political event, anything that can obviously make the markets hiccup or anything like that. Be on top of it and be ready to buy the dip, sell the rip, because every time the market goes down, it goes back up every single time. Even on the crashes, the market always comes back. So just keep that in mind, especially if you're a new options trader, and then just consider trying out SPY for a few weeks, see how it works. Try various strategies. Just because a strategy works for me doesn't mean it'll work for you. I watched a whole bunch of YouTube videos, took a whole bunch of like courses, read books, all that, and everybody trades differently. At the end of the day, you just got to find what works for you. It's more about the mentality, the psychology more than anything. So if I could suggest anything for a new trader, no matter if you're trading options, penny stocks, swing trading, trading ETFs, whatever you like to trade, crypto, any of that, I suggest reading options. I suggest reading plenty of psychology books, specifically when it comes to being under pressure. There's a bunch of psychology trading books on Amazon and Audible as well. I love Audible very much. I listen to tons of audiobooks. A lot of people probably laugh, but right now I'm actually listening to Jim Cramer's audiobook. I know he's like, for some reason, one of the most hated people that people don't tend to like for some reason. He's on CNBC, of course, but a lot of people give him a lot of crap. But At the end of the day, dude's got a lot of money. Obviously, a lot of it comes from CNBC, but I mean, he didn't get there from being an idiot, right? So I'm listening to his book, Was He Get Rich Carefully? I just started it this morning actually, but definitely consider Audible. If you're not a big reader and you're more of a listener, Audible's an awesome app. They give you like a credit each month that you can use for a book. It's like a $14, $15 membership, but you're getting a free book every month, and with that credit you can buy it. No matter how much the book costs, you can use that credit for a book. And another thing I found out this last week is once you get finished with a book, you can exchange it for a whole nother book. So you don't have to wait for a credit, or even if you don't like a book, say you start listening to a book about an hour and you're like, I don't really like this that much, you can still exchange it. You don't have to finish it to exchange it. So pretty much you never have to buy a book unless if, say you actually like the books and you want to listen to them multiple times in the future or something. For whatever reason you want to keep that book in your library, those books you have, then yeah, you'll have to buy a book or wait for a credit. But I haven't bought a book since I started on Audible, so it's pretty awesome because most of the books I look to read are $15, $20, $30 books on there. Like Jim Cramer's is a 16-hour audio book. It was like $19 or $29, something like that. So it pays, the membership pays for itself plus some at the end of the day. So if you haven't already heard of Audible, there's my little pitch for Audible, I guess. I don't have any affiliate link. It's just something I'm suggesting for you guys. But because that's what it's all about at the end of the day, is helping each other out. But I kind of like, anyways, back to the whole point. I kind of like the fact that we kind of had a down week this last week because it allowed our RSI to kind of relax a little. We're right around the lowest lows that our RSI has been since back in, actually a little over a month ago, about 6 weeks ago, back in the middle of August. So you can see what happened once our RSI got down here last time. We shot up for multiple days, for about a week actually, multiple weeks, 2 or 3 weeks in a row of just green, 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 green. Obviously you have the little red days, hiccups that you have to continue on up, but I mean from the lowest point, we went up, market went up 4% overall. Does that mean we're going to go up 4% in the upcoming, let's see, he has 2 weeks, essentially 2 or 3 weeks? No, doesn't mean that whatsoever. I'm just saying I think it's a good thing that we had a decent little down week this week. We didn't like break any ultimate supports, anything like that. We're well above 290 still. So I'm still overall, you guys know I'm overall pretty damn bullish on the market now. I said way back earlier this spring that once the market finally pulled out of its rut, what I say, like 275 or something like that. Yeah, so once we broke 280, we'd be off to the races, and sure enough, it's been pretty much off to the races ever since. My price target for SPY by the end of the year is 300 still. Only got about 10 bucks to go. It doesn't sound like a lot, but I mean right now we're at 290, let's just say 291 essentially, since that's pretty much where we are. So if we went up to 300, that would be roughly, what? That's actually not that far off, about 3.5% off. I thought it was about 5, but I mean, I think it's definitely going to reach 305. Might not even be out of total possibility, but I think 300 is still a decent price target for the market for SPY overall, which would obviously mean like 3,000 or 3,100 roughly on S&P 500. So it'll be interesting to see how this last quarter goes. If you guys don't have any other, if you don't have any questions or any ticker symbols you want me to holler at, then I guess I'll go ahead and start wrapping this stream up. Like I said, I just wanted to hop on here every Sunday at least just to give you guys my outlook for the market going into the next week. I think this week we'll probably see a decent little up week. I want to say that we will retest all-time highs, but I don't know what kind of geopolitical stuff's going to happen this week. For all I know, we could be double topping here. We could head back down and have another little minor correction. Who knows? But I'm overall pretty bullish on the market. I still think we're within this fine little tunnel right in here, and I think we're still going to hit 300 by the end of the year, personally, but I could always be wrong. So if you see this video after it's been uploaded and you think I'm wrong or you think I'm right or you have any other points of view, I guess, definitely shout them out in the comments, and I'm usually always in the comments. I usually respond within minutes, if not hours at the latest. So if you like the video, definitely make sure to smash that like button. I greatly appreciate it. And like I said, if you're new to the channel and you watch this whole thing, definitely consider hitting that subscribe button below. We'd love to have you here. We'd love to see you in the chat and future live streams. Most of my videos are live streams if you guys haven't noticed. So I would just like to figure out when is the best time for most people on a daily or certain days, whatever, especially Sundays, because Sundays pretty much guaranteed. Every Sunday we're going to have a Sunday stock watch. So just let me know in the comments too, what's the best time for you. I'm in Central Time, so let me know from a Central U.S. Standard Time standpoint. But with that being said, I'm just going to go ahead and wrap it up. Hope you guys did enjoy the video. Definitely consider subscribing. Love to have you here. And like I said, definitely check out our Discord group chat down. It's one of the first links in the description box. We'd love to have you there. We're pushing 40 members in there now. Just had another one of you join last night. Awesome stuff. But until next time, guys, keep on going out there making those profits, covering your profits, and achieving some financial freedom this year. And I'll see you guys within the next probably day or so. Take it easy, guys.